Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show and happy Thursday, March 21st. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Let's see what the market has for us today. Pretty interesting day yesterday. So we'll go over some of those trades as well on our watch list here. So let me see what we got going on. Good morning, guys on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Arcelia. It's nice to have you here always every morning. Thank you for joining us. Just a few seconds here, folks. Adrian, yes, I could do that. I can definitely at the end I will send you a screenshot of our gappers summary. Yep, I can definitely do that. Are you talking about this gapper screen over here? This one here? Right over here. Or are you talking about my complete watch list? Good morning, Norm. How you doing today? Not sure if Norm can hear me yet. So we'll wait for Norm to get set up. Can you guys hear me good in the chat room? Is the sound coming in okay? All right, just 1 second, guys, on YouTube. Just want to make sure. Can you guys hear me okay on YouTube? Just want to confirm that.
You guys hear me by chance? Okay, so they can hear it. So it's not me, it's you, Carlos.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm just going to restart my system here for our main chat room to be able to hear me. But looks like
How's
YouTube
everybody doing this morning?
is okay.
Here we go. Now I can hear you, Carlos.
Excellent. Perfect. All right, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the pre-market show. Sorry about that. Technology sometimes does these type of things. And when you're live, it doesn't do it when you're not live. But when you're live, it definitely does do it. So good morning. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. All right, guys. So let's get right into it. Let's look at what some of our hot plays and top plays from yesterday's were. Here was our watch list yesterday. And I think we had a decent watch list. I think some of the stuff here moved great. I think GIS was nice. So we'll go over everything we have on here. Then we'll get into our gappers list. Already we're seeing BIIB. Again, this one is a monster today. It's just the price action is crazy, down 26%. And Mike B told me there's some news on here in regards to them dropping a drug they were testing. So that's a big drop for them. All right, guys, let's see how we traded yesterday. So FDX, let's look at this. Was one that both me and you, Norm, were looking forward to it, but I was not able to take a trade on it. It just traded so choppy at the open. Yeah, I'm not sure.
It was choppy. I almost took that short right at the open, which would have been beautiful $2-3 move. But when I looked up, I was about to hit the button, and the spread was something like 40 or 50 cents, and I was like, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So, and at that time, sometimes in order to avoid that slippage, I'll use a limit order. In the first 2 minutes of the day, there's just not time to be able to do that. So, oh well.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. Yeah. It was one of those stocks where it was moving pretty crazy. It did settle in later on in the day, so it did become a little cleaner. You could have played it off the VWAP here. Taking some stabs at it on the way up. But again, just was not very clean right at the open. TME was another one that we had as well. Again, and also another one that was, let me zoom out this chart a little more so you can see a bigger picture. Another one that was just also very hard to trade. I know Andrew took a few stabs on this yesterday. Again, it did sell off here pretty nice. I didn't have shares for sure, so that sucked when I saw this happening. But again, just overall in here was just not being nice. It was just trading very awkwardly and just very hard to manage the price action. So very hard to read, and that happens sometimes, guys. Not every day you're going to have a good clean open. But if you do trade later in the afternoon, look how this becomes a beautiful short here, right? It loses VWAP after losing all these levels, and you got to be patient. That's the problem with you know, with being able to catch these nice trends. If you're in here getting chopped around, going long, going short, thinking it's going to break out, by the time you get here, you might just miss it because you're basically your psychology is not set, right? So that could happen in this chop here. Then it turns out to be a beautiful breakdown here. NOMD, I took a stab at this one yesterday. Again, it looked like an ABCD pattern, this being A here, B, and then C. I missed a great entry down here. Perfect entry would have been anywhere over here by these moving averages. I got in here, but it just barely moved. We moved literally like 7 cents. So it just didn't really pop off as I was expecting. And if you look at the 5 minutes, it's very choppy, not really clean here at all. So no love. And then after, look at, I think this is the one. Yeah, after it takes off VWAP here. Look at the moving averages. They all come in here. I think William talks about this kind of move a lot. I think also Robert. And it does that, reverses here nicely, and it just takes off all the way up there to 2018. AMD was great. Beautiful opening range breakdown here. It pops up, comes back to VWAP, back to all the moving averages, and this is your entry for a short here. Once it loses VWAP, set your stop loss up here somewhere, depending on the share size and what you're comfortable with, your risk tolerance. And then it just drops off nicely, loses all these moving averages, and it never tests your entry after that if you have a good entry above VWAP or at VWAP. Never tests after that. And if you're patient and you hold through your trades, you take some profits off here, maybe here, just to play safe, and you let this ride out. And look at the 5 minutes, just no indication of this reversing at all until it hits 20, 25, 40 or so. So again, just a beautiful trade on AMD. GIS, I didn't see this developing, this pop here, an open range breakup, but I did see the sell-off. The sell-off, again, engulfing pattern here, real nice. Some of you guys took it for a short here. Others waited for it to get closer to VWAP, you know, because you don't want to be so far from VWAP. And it just turned out to be a beautiful short. Then it just did this nice range throughout the entire day. Not easy to trade that, you know, trying to find the bottom and then sell at the top or short and cover. Not an easy strategy to do, but here this engulfing pattern was a very nice entry. Again, it clearly did not want to get above 49.50, which if you look at some parts of the pre-market, you know, that was some type of a level there as well. So very clean V reversal here with that engulfing pattern. NVRO, this was one that I took a short on. This was a very beautiful engulfing pattern as well. Look at this engulfing pattern here happening. I got in right at a 60.54. So it turned out to be a beautiful short. My one mistake here, and this is something that I have to get better at, and I keep saying it, but I'm not doing it. And you know, I gotta really, you know, put focus on that. Is checking the spread. Sometimes I get into trades and I don't check the spread. So very important, guys, check the spread, because the spread on this early on, even with the volume, was horrible. Norm, I'm not sure if you saw this one on your watch list, but the spread was like 30
I wasn't.
cents.
Well, I ended up getting something else, so I didn't see that when it was going on. But was it bad?
It was horrible, man. It was at some points 30 to 35 cents, more than 25. And when I saw that, I completely hopped out, took some off immediately. But again, it was just really bad. And especially if you're using market orders, I mean, you're going to get filled, you know, at probably the worst possible price. Solo was nice. Solo was one that I regret not taking this trade. I called it out over here. Where was it? In this area here, say, hey, this is possibly doing something. No, it was not this one. It was a breakout later in the day. I can't remember where it was, but we called it out. Yeah, actually, I think it was here. We called it out. Yeah, here's the 1 minute chart. Here's what I was looking for. This is what we saw here. And I mentioned in the chat, you know, this looks like it's doing something. I did not expect it was going to do this move. But by this time, I was already done trading. But again, just a perfect breakout here. Look at the moving average all curling up, goes above VWAP, and it takes off nicely. So Solar is one of those stocks that trades really well. MTBF didn't do much. Had the first pop in the morning, and then after that, it's just kind of sold off. Really didn't get any kind of a break towards the top. I didn't want to miss out the action. I have a little FOMO here, so I took a simulation trade. I'm not ashamed to say this stock was probably a little bit out of my league, but I wanted to get into the action, so I took a simulation trade here just to see how it played out, and it didn't take off. So I'm glad it was a simulation trade. All right, guys, so let's get into what we have today. Norm, anything you trade that was interesting yesterday that you liked?
No, I traded NVIDIA a little bit, actually, both sides of the trade, and it was okay. And then, you know, all hell broke loose at 2 o'clock Eastern when the Fed released their minutes and the market popped. So that was good to see. I'm always hesitant about trading those moves. It was clean yesterday, but a lot of times you'll find it does a fake where the minutes come out, the market rockets up, and then just as fast goes back down and negative of where it had been before that time. So
yeah. Yes,
I stayed away from it,
yeah,
but
I agree. I think you were mentioning again. We're the moderators are on in the room commentating throughout the day for those on YouTube that are not in our chat room, and yeah, that does happen. I mean, we were saying that, be careful around 2 o'clock or so, and then exactly what it did. If you were short here or something, you could have had a great entry here being short, and then this happens and you're back at your break even. So you always got to be careful with these things. You never know which way it's going to go. Obviously, I think all the feedback yesterday from the Fed meeting was positive. So again, just as you see in these pops here. But the SPY, let's look at the SPY for a sec, see how the SPY is opening up. You're right, it came right back down, right? If I recall, yeah. So
yeah, it ended. Yep.
yeah, look at this here. It had this beautiful pop all the way up there. Oh, that's too big. Here we go. So had this pop and then right back to where it was trading at, even lower actually. It's opening up a little lower today, but again, it's just craziness. You never know what to expect. Let's see what the SPY is doing today. So today we're all right. So we're a little bit down here. We're down almost 0.5%. So the last several days closing in the red for the SPY after breaking this level that we hadn't got above in a while. I think a couple of weeks that we have been above 282. So we broke that level. We made it as far as what 280. What we're looking at 284, and then the last 3 days have been red. So let's see what the SPY does here. Again, just kind of consolidating. I don't think this is yet reversing or going down. It just seems like it's just kind of going sideways in this area here. All right, so that's what we got on the SPY today. Let's take a look at our gappers. Let's see what is going on there. So let's start with the bottom, BIIB, because this one is really active today. Again, on some serious news here about a drug test being dropped, and they are down 26.4, as much as 25 earlier. I think 25, 29 or something, whatever it was. 1.5 million shares traded already. But this one here, it's going to be tough to trade this stock. I mean, just look at the what are the candles here? There's a 236, and it goes down to 233. So that's a $2.50 candle right there. I just don't know how I would personally trade that. This one over here is 239 to, again, this is a $9 candle. I mean, seriously, it's just, you got to pick your battles, guys. I mean, when you're trading, you got to be picky. Yes, this is nice. I would love to get in here and had taken some profits all the way up there. Making $9 moves on 100 shares would have been amazing. But again, it can go the other way as well. So you have to really not have the fear of missing out and manage your risk properly. So this is obviously in play today. We will watch it. 1.5 million shares traded so far, gapping down quite a bit. 26% for a stock trading in the 300s and 300 and a half. That's quite a bit. That's a lot. And looking at the daily chart, it looks amazing. This stock could really move. Look at these drops here. Look at this recovery. So again, just a beautiful daily chart. This is what you want to see. These ranges, these beautiful candles in here. But just today, I don't know how we'll play it today. So we'll stick around and take a look at it for sure. Next, we have FTDR. FTDR is down 5.7, 478,000 shares traded so far. Beautiful pre-market action right now. I like the way these candles are forming here. A lot of bodies and some good volume happening here. So that's good. Let's look at the daily chart. Daily chart doesn't trade pretty well throughout the days. Here it's pretty flat, but then here it's starting to get some really nice action. So I do like the daily chart over the last couple of days. It's been trading really well, now down 5.6. So they must have had some good news, and then somebody realized that it's not worth $37 or whatever it was at. So down today, negative 5.6. Again, some great volume and climbing. Next, we have CHL. CHL in here, down 4%. 343,000 shares traded, but not a good pre-market action. So this, although this has the volume, although it's down 4%, this is what you want to avoid, guys. I mean, just look at this this action here. There's nothing happening, opposed to a FTDR where you have a nice flow to. You want to find that flow in here. So really like that one. What's the daily chart look on this? Oh no, look at the daily chart. I'm just gonna drop this one off. This is horrible. It must be a foreign stock. Yeah, definitely a foreign stock. China Mobile. And just look at these gaps, just not clean. So we'll get rid of this one. What do we have next in here? MU in our gappers today, up 3.3, 1.2 million shares traded. That's a lot for MU. MU does not trade that much in the pre-market, so that is quite a bit. And I like trading MU, so we'll definitely watch it. Pre-market action looks a little bit all over the place now, but there is some serious volume here. And the daily chart, let's get rid of these levels. We'll find some clean ones. Daily chart's a little bit all over the place for MU. I thought it used to be cleaner. It hasn't been that clean lately, but again, MU, when it does want to, it does trade very well. So up quite a bit here. I do like the way the pre-market action is setting up now. CAG up 7.1, 465,000 shares traded. Now this here, guys, is not a great daily chart. Look at all the wicks and the bodies. It looks very flat, right? It just looks very flat throughout the day. It's not great. Here it looks amazing. This is beautiful. This is what you want to see. But then just in here, this is all chop. All right. So, but today, pre-market action is also not showing us anything great, although it has 465,000 shares traded. There must be some kind of block trade in here that's causing that, because again, it's just, look at the pre-market action, just very flat, not much going on in regards to price range. Over the last couple of minutes, not doing anything in here. So again, just not a fan of it right now. We'll keep it just in case it gets better. All right, so let's look at our NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. Let's see what we have going on here. NASDAQ gainer SPI is up nicely, 670,000 shares traded so far. 105 up, gapping up 106 and climbing. So this thing has some potential. Let's look at some of the history tells us on this stock. So this one, you can see that when it does get the, let's just do that. Here we go. So the history tells us if it does get volume here, it does run up. Again, some volume here also ran up. Sold off the same day, but you do get some momentum if the volume comes in. Today could be one of those days if the volume continues to stay steady. Right now, showing a beautiful pre-market action, guys. Just look at this here. Nice flow to it with volume. And we got the ramp here. I like to see the ramp. Hopefully, it can stay there with the volume, and it creates a real nice price action. Now, SPI, wow, very low flow, 3.4. So we'll throw this one down here. SPI, 3.4 million shares float. So again, one you want to be very careful with. OSS, nothing happening, no volume. CFMS, nothing going on here. Has the volume, but this pre-market action looks wacky. Beautiful daily chart though. I mean, look at this daily chart. It's been taking off over the last couple of days, having some really big days. What this is, 7 days, 8 days all green.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, right? To see that. Yeah. What's the float?
Cranking up on heavy volume too compared to the rest.
Yeah, so I mean, look at the volume coming in heavier and heavier every single day. So actually, no, it's not a low flow. It's 58 million shares. So you know what? This is interesting. We'll throw this on here. The pre-market action doesn't look great, but I love the daily chart. Do they have some news over the last couple of days? What's going on here? So let's go over to Benzinga CFMS. See, but there's no news on here, at least not for the last couple of days, unless they have some news early on and there's still momentum of that news. But right here, all I see is just reports of big movers from yesterday and this morning. So CFMS looks interesting. Yeah, Nikki Dobry, I did not find any news on Benzinga, but there must be some news around these couple of days, maybe a week old news that they're still high on from here, it looks like. So we'll keep it on here. INO, nothing happening, no volume. Pre-market action, this is usually how it starts. You got the pop and then people start buying in, but right now it doesn't look great without the volume. So we'll look at that later if it gets better. SCON, not much happening, no volume here. GIII, nothing happening there. NP, nothing going on. AXSM, nothing happening. Where are we at here? EVOK, nothing happening. OPK is nothing going on here. No volume. And that was the last one. All right, so BIIB, we have already. We have that one on our list. That's the one that's going crazy today. NVCN, nothing going on there. Penny stock. MU, we have. This is a NASDAQ ETF, another NASDAQ ETF. SPI we have as well. Looks very good, very active, not a low float. I'm sorry, this is a low float. So we have it down here. Just be careful. OPK, let's say no to this one, but horrible daily chart. What's the float on this one here? OPK. All right, so larger size float, but look at the daily chart. It's just a horrible daily chart. Does not trade well. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't like the pre-market action actually. Yeah, we'll skip this. CFMS we have here. Again, it's a larger flow stock, although it's a lower price. We do have shares for short as well, so that's good. Next we have FTDR, which we have on here already, down 5.5, so it's kind of holding here, trying to bounce back from this 30-20. And the last one, TIGR. Oh yeah, TIGR. Someone called it out in the chat room yesterday. How did it end up? This was the IPO, right? So opened up at 8.
Yep.
And closed at what we're looking at here, closed at previous day closed 1092. So opened up strong and is gapping down today 2.5. No shares for sure. Again, really not a lot of history on this guy, so I'm not gonna put it on my watch list. Because again, I wouldn't even know how to trade this, right? It's just 2 days. There's no levels. These moving averages don't mean much right now. So you have to really have a strategy to play this type of stocks. Peter has some rules that he follows on IPO. So maybe when that can be more developed, we can share that with everyone. But again, we're not going to have the fear of missing out and jump on something that we don't know what we're doing. We want to have our plan. We want to trade stuff that we're used to and comfortable with. So that's it for the Gap NASDAQ active NASDAQ gainers. Just looking over on our gappers list, see if we have anything new, and we do. We have LQDA.
Yeah, like Peter mentioned that Levi's is going public today, and that they were public in the past. I think for the last 35 years they've been private again. So.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Is that happening today?
Yeah, it'll be a little bit later this morning.
Gotcha. All right, cool. We'll look out for that. I'm sure Peter's gonna send us the alert because he has that alert in his trader Dash Trader Pro to learn of a new IPO. So that's interesting. Maybe we could share. Can we share that, Peter, with everyone if they want to put that in there? Oh, there it is. So here it is. How can I get this over to? How can I share this? All right, we'll figure out how to share that over to YouTube. Maybe we'll post it somewhere. But yeah, that's the way to do it there, guys, to get an alert of any new IPOs. All right, guys. So let's see. What are you guys watching on your end? What looks interesting? So we have. Let's go back up here. All right, BPTH. Let's look at BPTH. We look at NEO next. So BPTH. All right, so BPTH again. This stock is just really choppy and all over the place. Look at the daily over the last couple of days. Just not really much going on. Kind of selling back down, looks like. But again, it's just it doesn't have the volume right now, and I wouldn't really waste my time trading this. It's too unpredictable. I do not have shares for short, and I just don't want to be caught in a situation where this thing can move, $5 against you. So and it is possible in this type of stock. So just the risk from a risk management point, this is not a stock that you want to really take a look at. So next we have NIO. NIO is trading really choppy this morning. Does have 80,000 shares traded so far. Has a good daily chart. I gotta say, this daily chart here looks great. But again, it's just one of these stocks that trades very choppy. I personally have not had any luck trading NIO. So I just stay away from it. But right now, even with not any bias on this particular ticker, look at the pre-market action right now. This looks very robotic, very choppy. You don't want to be involved in this type of price action. Next, we have MDR. MDR, no volume right now on MDR, so it looks a little bit flat at the moment. Again, just nothing really going on there. Next we have MU Merengue. We do have MU right on here, so I do have MU. That's on the list, pretty active today. You're also giving us WSM. WSM doesn't have the volume at the moment. Okay, daily chart, but again, it's up 1.6, but again, just no volume right now. Only 60,000 shares traded at the moment. Next we have WPM. Also no volume here. Look at this pre-market action, just doesn't look great right now. A beautiful daily chart. Looks like it's starting to get higher highs over here. It's been gapping up nicely, but again, right now the action is not there. Next, what do we have here? Apple. Let's take a look at Apple. All right. Oh, Apple is interesting. Apple has a really nice pre-market action right now. This looks very clean. Yeah, Apple is good. I like Apple.
Yeah, my eyes on that for sure.
Yeah, that's probably one of the cleanest pre-markets we've seen from Apple in some time. This looks very, very nice. So Apple is good. STNE. let's take a look. STNE, yeah, no volume, not a good pre-market action. Again, this was in play a couple of days ago. On this was what, Monday, Tuesday, whatever it was. Then sold off, but again, it's just not in play today. It could be later on in the mid-morning. It could continue to sell off over the last 2 days. Really red days, might be trying to get back to these moving averages. But again, it's just not in play at the moment, pre-market action wise. LQDA. No, LQDA. What do we find in LQDA? Let's go back to it. LQDA. We looked at it. LQDA. Yeah, LQDA. Yeah, we might have skipped this one. I thought we talked about it. But pre-market action. Let's see what we have here. Oh, yeah, we did talk about this one. The volume was not there. It's starting to climb now. 125,000 shares traded, but still not. Wow, actually, it's starting to climb pretty good, though. If this continues, it could be in play. So, daily chart doesn't look great, but if the volume continues to get higher, it could possibly be in play. We'll throw it on here as a possible. We'll get back to it. Doesn't look great right now compared to everything else I'm watching. Just look at a FDTR. Look at the volume here, 700 looks great. MU is a little choppy, but I like the fact that it already has 1.2 million shares traded. Usually MU doesn't have that many shares traded right in the morning. CAG, not doing great, has some volume, but not doing great. CFM, FMS also has volume, but again, pre-market action is not doing great. But I do love this daily chart, looks really nice here. So we'll keep LQDA on there as well. AMD, let's check AMD. All right, AMD is 401,000 shares trade. Yeah, we could take a look at AMD. Let's put AMD on here. Had a really nice trading day yesterday. Sold off real nice. So today it's pretty flat right now, not up or down on AMD. So interesting to see what it's going to do. Has an okay, decent pre-market action. So hopefully it could be in play today. WMS, we looked at WMS already. Take a look at it one more time. Yes, selling off here, but again, just no volume. Let's wait for this to get over at least 100,000. Only 66,000 shares traded right now on WSM, so not great. What else we have? BIIB. Yes, we have BIIB here, Boris. That's definitely in play today. Tons of volume there, gapping down 26% on a stock that's 300 plus. That's a lot. That's a big drop. NIO. Did we look at NIO? NIO. Yeah, NIO, the pre-market action is not looking great. Yeah, we did look at this one. It's just not looking great right now. Seems very choppy. 187,000 shares trading. Again, the daily chart looks great, but this stock just doesn't trade well. And right now, I'm not seeing a really good pre-market action. So you can see here, yesterday actually started choppy, then it sold off. But again, you got to be really patient because I've seen the price action in NIO. It's not clean at all. Right, you see, you lose volume comes back up, you lose it again. It's a very hard ticket to trade. So I just gotta stay away from it. All right, we'll check a few more before we get into it. Yeah, TQQ is a Nasdaq ETF, so it basically goes with the markets. SPI, we do have SPI. We have it down here. Again, up quite a bit, 104. So that looks nice. INO. I'm on the fence on this one. It's 130,000 shares traded. What's the flow also? We did look at this one. It is a larger flow. It's not a low flow. But again, just the pre-market action looks pretty flat to me right now. 133,000 shares traded. I don't know. It just looks very funky at the moment. I'm not saying that it cannot get better. We could throw it on here with LQDA as well. We can go back to it, but right now it doesn't look great at the moment. And then we'll do one more. ALGN. Daily chart looks good, but right now there's no volume on it. But you have a nice daily chart. It's bouncing back here. It looks like it wants to get above this level where it has some resistance before. But today there's no volume on this at all. All right, guys, so let's go through what we have. Let's make this list a little smaller. Let's see what looks great. Let's find some levels. ACB has been on our gappers list quite a bit. Selling off now after having a few strong days, now heading back down here. But again, ACB, we had it on our watch list before. Very difficult to trade. Again, it's just I try to stay away from it. Norm, anything you see on your end that you're watching today?
No, frankly, nothing's looking great to me right now, other than Apple and maybe Micron.
Gotcha. Yeah, Apple looks really good. Let's see what it's doing now. Yeah, Apple is having a really strong pre-market here today. So, all right, guys. So let's get through this list. Let's see what we have. Let's find some levels, and then if anything else pops, oh, BPTH in our gapper scanners down 11.7 BPTH. Yeah, so it's down quite a bit. Starting to get the volume now, but I don't have shares for short on this anyways. And even if I did, I just wouldn't trade this stock. It's just not tradable for me, given the risk management. You know,
you already made your deal from BPTH. Don't give it back.
I did. I'm not giving that back. That's going into staying in the bank. So BPTH was nice already. No need to touch it anymore. So Facebook's their charts all over the place, their daily chart. But yeah. It's at a point where we can go either way. Barracuda, I'm with you. It's it's pretty flat right now, but their chart it's really all over the place. Weird for a company like this to have all these gaps and just the way it's trading there. Okay, so let's start from the top. BIIB again. I think this stock is gonna be in play for sure. I just don't see how I can manage my risk or how anyone that's starting out can manage their risk on this type of stock. High of the pre-market 245, low of the pre-market we're looking at 229.68. What do we have as far as possible levels towards the top? Is it this all-time low? No. All right, so this stock's dropped quite a bit. Hasn't been down here in a while. You have a level over here at 223.68, and then a possible one right up here at a 250. Again, just I don't know how you will manage your risk on something like this. So you got quite a bit of few levels. These levels are old, so you really got to watch the price action as well. Look at these moving averages. But right now the swings are on this is between $2-3 just on a single candle. Some as high as $9. This here is a $9 candle. So I'll keep it on here, but I'm most certain I'm not going to watch this at the open, or at least not trade it. FTDR. Let's look at what we got going on. Pretty flat action right now. It's just kind of holding this 30-20 level. Low of the pre-market at the moment 30.06. High of the pre-market sitting at 31.25. So we'll mark that down there. Towards the top, you got a pretty clean levels already. I don't think you need to add any more. You have the previous day low. Right over here, previous day low, previous day close, right at the top here. So you got plenty of levels towards the top. Towards the bottom, we have a nice gap. If we lose the low of the pre-market, we have this gap here. We can try to close sitting at 29.21. So some decent levels on here. Not the cleanest pre-market action. It did drop nicely here. Now it's starting to get some volume, but acting pretty choppy. But it's clearly holding this 30-10, 30-20 level. So interesting to see what that's going to do. Again, 816,000 shares traded so far on FTDR. So that looks good. MU, I like MU. Again, pretty choppy, which is normal. For MU on every open, we have the high of the pre-market at 42.14. Above that, we have clear level all the way up here, sitting at 43.98. You also have a moving average coming in here on the daily chart, very close to it. In between that, you have 43.20 and 43.20. Look at these 3 days, 1, 2, 3, all bouncing from that 43.20. Towards the bottom, you have the previous day highs right over here for the last 2 days, previous day close and previous day lows here sitting as well. I don't think we get below that, but if we do, we have a moving average here at 39. Moving average coming in at 39 down there, but I don't think the way it's trading right now, I don't think it's gonna drop that much all the way down there. So MU looks good, very active, not the cleanest pre-market action, but again, MU tends to do that. CACG is 578, so it's gapping up quite a bit here. We do have some levels. High of the pre-market right now, 24.80. We got some levels towards the top already, 25.22 and 25.59. How did we get those levels? We got those levels when it dropped here. Probably was in our scanners, and we probably went back to find these levels in between here somewhere. Yeah, we probably went back. Let's just make sure these levels are still relevant. Make sure they're still good. They should be. Yep, 25.59, 26.40. We got some levels and consolidation. Not the cleanest daily chart, so the levels are harder to find. 24.81 based on all these consolidation here and this day here. 25.22, more consolidation here in these 2 days as well. So those levels are still relevant because there's nothing in between here recently. There's no price action in between this area here. So again, you have one day where it just drops, and then you need these levels here based on where the price action is at now. And then towards the bottom, we do have shares for short on this one. It is shortable. So you have this one here, 23.93. You have all these 3 days using it as resistance, all these days here as support, and then it drops again back below it. Then below that, you got the previous, the low of the pre-market, and also you got the previous day highs and lows, just all sitting right in here. So again, just very clean towards the downside on levels. So not the cleanest pre-market action. We're not getting a lot of flow here. So does not look great, but the volume is there. It is up 6.4. Let's hope that it gets better as we get closer to the open. CFMS is, what are we doing here? Oh, this is one that has a beautiful daily chart, but the pre-market action is just horrible.
That'll kill you right there.
Yeah, this I don't know how you would trade this. I'm gonna find some levels for this, guys, but probably I'm not going to keep this because it's just the pre-market action looks horrible. But it could pop into our maybe our high of day bull flag or something. High of the pre-market 341. Let's go back here. Are we sitting on all-time high on this? Nope. All right, so 341 towards the top, high of the pre-market. Above this, we have a level right in here from this day, 381. Another one all the way up here at 418. So that's playing towards the top. And towards the bottom, you have some really clean levels because just the way this stock's been trading, you can mark down the low of the pre-market just to have that, 277. But look at this, it's just very clean. It's like a step ladder here, 250. You have this one here, high of 2 days ago, low of yesterday, and then low of 2 days ago right on here. So just a step ladder going on the way up. Plenty of levels if this thing decides to drop. And we do have shares for short, but this pre-market action is just horrendous. I mean, this will get you killed. As Norm mentioned, 754,000 shares. The volume is there, but the volume is not consistent. You got these spikes where you get, 90,000 shares traded. I'd rather have 40, 40, 40, 40, 45 on each of these and create a nice flow opposed to this up, down, flat, up, down, flat. It just looks like a heartbeat. It's not good. All right, so Apple is looking amazing. Apple is looking very good. I love the flow here. Look at this, bouncing off the moving averages here and just taking off nicely. So Apple is definitely in play, hitting a moving average right now.
It's coming.
Go ahead.
It's coming right up against its daily 200, which should be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting what it does there. So we got the daily 200 on there. Above that, if it can get the legs to push through that. 194.84 is the level, and you have another one all the way up here. I'm just looking at this day here and this. And I know that might look small for a lot of you guys. Let me just zoom in here. Here it is. So we got this day here and this one here at 199.06. All right. So yeah, let's see if we can push above this 200. The 200, let's mark the 200 actually very close towards the high of the day. Bring it down just a bit right there. Actually, it might be right at the high of the pre-market. So let's see if we can push above this 190.67, very close to where the 200 is. And then the next level could be 194. So very strong level resistance coming up for Apple. It's going to be interesting to watch that. Next, we have AMD. AMD is a bit choppy right now, but I do like the daily chart. We have tons of levels already. Previous day close, we're sitting on it almost right now. Above that previous day high from 2 days ago, which is very close to the high of the pre-market now, so I'm not going to mark it. Then we can get rid of this 26 here because we have the previous day high from yesterday right on it basically. Then above that we have 27.77. Again, I don't think AMD can run that much today after having such a big day a couple of days ago. But anything is possible. I think they have some news on. I think Google. Someone mentioned in the chat room. Google is decided to pick them for their gaming platform they might be coming out with. So that was some big news they had a couple of days ago. All right, and towards the bottom, you have the previous day low over here, and then you also have the low of the pre-market sitting at 25.55. All right, and let's see what SPI is doing. Oh, SPI is on fire here. Nice. So SPI, new high of the pre-market, sitting at 675, 674. We can mark down this one over here, this 494, just in case we have a drop and wants to take off again. All right, so it's cracked. We had a level here which is cracked through it, right? These two spikes are a level as well. What do we have above this? Let's see how high this can go. So another level right over here, and the next spike that we have is a 895. This has gone as high as $15. Anything else in between here that looks clean? All right, nothing that looks very clean, but I'm just gonna mark this one up here. Actually, I'm gonna do this one here. You got several days bouncing off this 1099, so I'm gonna just mark that one there, just for reference. But again, this thing is looking really strong right now. Beautiful pre-market action. Look at this flow to it. Has the ramp. Volume is staying steady. 1.3 million shares traded so far. LQDA. Let's see what LQDA is doing. Still not great. The volume is just not there. You know, this morning it had 100,000. Now it's only 50 more thousand shares traded. But again, it's just not creating a really good, clean price action, to be honest. But let's mark some levels just in case. It's good surprises. 11, 12, low of the pre-market, high of the pre-market, sitting at 1250. Yep, 1250 right there. Oh, there we go. Why is it not? Oh, I've been doing this because I was too zoomed in. Okay. All right, so 1250, high of the pre-market. Towards the top, you have the gap, right? The previous day close right on there. Towards the bottom, this is all-time low. If it is, it becomes more interesting, but I don't think it's very close to it. Yep, there's nothing else behind here. So actually, it is right at the all-time low. Not quite all-time low, sitting at approximately 1054. So, all right, so that makes it a little more interesting. But again, just still right now, the price action does not look great. I'm going to keep it on here just to watch it as we get closer to 9:30 and see what develops there. INO, still not trading anything exciting. Doesn't look great. I'm just going to remove this one, guys. Just not trading great. All right, guys, anything we missed, we have 3 minutes before Andrew comes on and starts working on his watch list. So anything we missed, anything that we should take a look at before we sign off here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, way too many. I got to get rid of at least 2 here. AMD looks good. Apple looks great. Trying to get above that 200. CFMS. I'm probably going to get rid of this one, guys. This doesn't look great. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of CFMS. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's good. GAG doesn't look great neither, guys. It has the volume. I mean, it's gapping up nicely. Yeah. But this is a horrible pre-market action. Yeah. So I'll get rid of it. There's no need to watch. I'd rather watch less and focus on less than watch crap. FTDR is looking good. It's bouncing nice here with some great volume. Look at this 1 minute chart, looks good. It's getting above these moving averages, so I like that. BIIB is, I have it here more for entertainment. I don't see how this is tradable with the way the price action is. Yep, so I think we have a decent watch list. AMD and MU, I'm watching them both today. I think one of these could have a really good day. AMD setting up to bounce here. It looks like MU is really active in the pre-market, which is great because it's usually not the case. So I like these. Norm, anything you're watching on your end that you like? I think you mentioned NVIDIA, or which one you mentioned?
I'll have NVIDIA as a backup, but primarily MU, AMD, Apple.
Yeah.
I keep an eye on Facebook, and but it's not really doing much right now. But this FTDR looks a little interesting too. So
yeah. All right, so we have a similar list, which is good. So Sammy, TVIX is again. It's not a regular ticker. It's a volatility index. So I don't trade it. It is tradable, but it's basically on what the market is doing. So for example, I won't come in here and start doing levels because it has nothing to do with the levels. It's more if the market drops, this thing shoots up, right? So it's a volatility index. You have to know how to trade that. It is tradable. Several of our members have traded it in the past, but I personally don't trade it. Norm, do you trade TVIX at all?
I don't. Brian does.
Yeah, Brian is good at TVIX, being able to catch some good moves on this. But you got to be really quick, too. You got to look at what the SPY, the market is doing. And It's more of a scalping moves, which you have to really learn how to do. So if you're new and starting out, I will stay away from this. I consider myself still somewhat recent, not as experienced, so I just stay away from this. I stay away from this and focus on other things. You got to find your niche, but just be careful with this one. All right, guys, we're coming up on 9:15. So here's my watch list: BIIB, FTDR. Be careful, guys, with BIIB. Again, this in here has some candles that are like $9, so be very careful. Watch it. FTDR is good. MU is great, has some good volume. Looking forward to that. Apple is amazing, coming up on the 200 moving average. And AMD is also bouncing back here. Could have a good day after having a really nice daily chart here. Take care, guys, and see you soon tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time. Make sure you comment and like too. Put your comments on here if you have any questions. The moderators will get back to you. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Trade safe.